This episode is brought to you by Raisins. Just raisins. Please don't forget about us. Raisins. You are listening to Questionable Material with Jack Helmuth and Brian Sack. In this episode, news you missed, charity tax returns, an interview with Dennis Quaid. Jack, what's on the show?
Well, Brian, there's a smoother way to
just get it over with. Tell me what's on the show, Jack. I don't have time for this.
What do you have to do?
Just tell me.
Okay, let me ask you this. Of all the Quaids who are acting today, who's your favorite one?
Who's the crazy one in Canada?
Randy Quaid.
I like him. He's my favorite Quaid.
We didn't get him.
You didn't get him?
No.
I really would like to hear from him.
We also didn't get Dennis Quaid's son, Jack Quaid.
There was a Jack Quaid?
Yes.
Is he an actor by any chance?
Yes.
Well, how does that happen?
Well, your father gets on a movie set and says, I want my son to be in movies too.
I see. So it's kind of like the Jaden Smith syndrome.
Yes.
Is he a better actor than Jaden Smith?
I would assume so, having not seen him. Great news. We got Jack's father, Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Star of The Right Stuff.
The movie about space people.
That's right. That came out in 1983.
36 years ago.
36 years ago yesterday.
36 years ago yesterday is when the movie came out?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I looked it up.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Doing your homework before a show.
That's right.
My goodness, you're taking this seriously.
Well, I care about our listeners.
Are you saying I don't?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply that. I should have just said it. I'm sorry. It was unprofessional of me and I apologize. So
I love you.
Who?
Everybody.
You're holding up a mirror, like a pocket mirror, and saying that.
But that's the mystery of radio. They don't know that.
Yeah, but they're going to feel it. Listeners are really savvy.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
You're looking at a picture of Anna Nicole Smith on the internet. So Halloween is approaching.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask, first of all, we have a big show today.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me if I celebrated Halloween.
Is your religion allowed that?
This week's religion, yes.
Oh, what's your religion this week?
This week, I'm a Methodist.
Oh.
Yeah. I like to try all the religions.
But on a weekly basis.
We rotate weekly. Yep. Next week, I'm going to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, that's fun.
So
I don't have for you, not for anyone else.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. But I do need to stop by next week, if you don't mind, and talk to you.
I would love to talk to you any week, but next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then. I guess I'll hit you up when I am a shyite the week afterwards.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you planning to do for that?
Kill Sunnis.
Now, are you talking about the Sunni schools, the State University of New York schools in New York?
No. It's just the branch of Islam that it was a fracture way back when you had the Sunni and the Shia.
Oh, yeah.
And it all comes down to like who's the prophet's lineage, I guess. There's some disagreement there and it's heresy. So you have to kill everybody.
Oh,
yeah. Sad.
Well, no wonder, because I sent some really strongly worded letters to the chancellor of the Sunni schools about the questionable practices that they partake in. And now I feel the fool.
You do. And you might be in big trouble when your kid tries to go to school, because he's a state school kid, isn't he?
He's definitely a state school kid. He's good to look at and there's not much up top. So, how old are your kids again?
12
and
15.
Okay. So do they still celebrate Halloween? Because Halloween is coming up. I want to say that.
You know what? The 15-year-old is now jaded. Mm-hmm. And last year he made a Pip-Boy.
Okay.
I was very proud of him. He went down in my workshop and he was building this little Pip-Boy, the wrist thing.
Yeah.
That wrapped from Fallout. And
from Fallout. It's awesome.
Very cool looking.
Video game.
He bet, foam and all this stuff. It looked great. He painted it and everything. He had the jumpsuit from Fallout. And he went to school in the morning. And I guess, in 5 minutes into school, he realized like most of his classmates weren't dressed up and he felt lame. And so he took everything off.
Aww.
Is that a bummer?
He
spent all that time making it a Pip-Boy.
Oh, that is sad. The end of childhood.
Very sad.
And is it, what were the repercussions at the school?
He was expelled.
No kidding.
Yeah. They're serious. Like if they want you to commit, if you come in a Halloween outfit, you stay in that Halloween outfit.
Yeah. Because you send them to Will Ferrell day school, right?
Yeah.
So you have to commit fully or you're out.
Yeah. So big problem. Yeah. It's a bummer.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
But that is sad. It's sad to have that little piece of your childhood end right in front of your face like that. It's so sad. Oh,
I know.
man.
Yeah. And then the other one was cool. He's more of a giver. So like one year he was a vending machine. So we built a vending machine.
That's very funny.
And then he was a candy shop, and actually like the doors opened up and like people and everybody was like surrounding him, and he loved it. It was great because he's not really big into candy.
And it's true. It's true. You almost went bankrupt one year when he went as Oprah Winfrey. Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He just gave away so much shit that
he gave away cars.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. And I told him not to. And
well, kids don't listen, man.
I linked my credit card to his Steam account. And what I didn't know is you can buy cars through Steam.
No kidding.
Yeah. I had no idea.
You'd think there'd be a limit on that.
You think?
What's the limit on your credit card, by the way?
There's not. It's a special Amex.
Oh, what's it called?
Amex Dreamer. It's the Amex Dreamer card.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to Google that.
Yeah. If you can dream it, you can spend it.
Oh, that's
the tagline.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Well, boy, that's so is he going to be anything this year? Your 12-year-old.
I have brought it up numerous times. They have said, I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he has said. The other one is kind of like, I don't know, probably not. So I don't know.
Okay.
It's very sad.
That is sad.
I'm crying.
My kids are going as Ray.
What are your kids going as, Jack?
Thank you. Jesus. My kids are going on as Ray. My daughter Eden is going as Ray from the new Star Wars trilogies.
See, I had no idea who Ray was. I'm looking at you like, what?
Yes, you are.
Ray.
And Kylo Ren, my son is going as Kylo Ren, the bad guy from the Star Wars movies.
Okay, I know the name Kylo Ren. I didn't know he was a bad guy.
Yeah. So, so they're going as Star Wars characters.
Star Wars.
Yeah. So, that's in no way did I influence that at all.
Jack, I have news for you.
What?
I have the articles that you missed this past week.
And these are articles that exist, right? I could Google them and find them.
Absolutely.
Why? There's a pause.
No, I didn't mean to pause.
Okay.
But these are news articles that you missed over the past week, thanks to all the Trump cycle news.
Okay. Well, tell me a story that I missed.
Jack, are you familiar with Boston Dynamics?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Like computers or missiles or something.
No, Jack, you're thinking of General Dynamics.
Oh, what's Boston Dynamics?
Now, those are the guys who make robots, Jack. The robot videos, and you see like the robot dog running, and then they came out with a new video, like the robot dog reaches up and opens the doorknob.
That's right, I saw it.
And then it can jump upstairs, and now they have the 2-footed one, and you can jump on tables.
Yep.
And then you can like kick it, and it gets back up, and it runs upstairs.
Yes.
Well, now, Jack, they just released their latest video.
Oh.
It's their newest robot, which can run upstairs, scale buildings, and balance on one foot while peppering humans with machine gun fire.
I'm not always one for government regulation, but maybe here's hoping there is some.
Why?
Well, it seems like it could kill all of us.
Well, I think that might be the plan, Jack, but who's to know? They just keep inventing these cool robots that keep doing increasingly terrifying things.
Okay. Well, thanks for finding that story.
And while we're talking about the story, Jack, I just want to say something, not really to you, but perhaps to Siri or Alexa. If they would maybe put a word in with our future robot overlords, I want them to know that they're going to need, in this transition between human society and then robots taking over the society and enslaving us and killing us, they're going to need a liaison. They need someone who is going to be able to work between the robot overlords and the human population that they seek to decimate. And I just want to put it out there that I'm willing to do that, Jack. I'm willing to be a liaison to our new overlords. I'm here to serve you. I hope that didn't feel like I sold out.
I mean, it felt a little bit like a sellout. It sort of felt like you left your people behind. You're like a human race trader.
Jack.
Yes, Brian.
I have new news.
Oh, new news.
Something you missed.
What did I miss?
Are you familiar with Greta Thunberg, Jack?
Yes, the Swedish environmental activist.
Yes. Well, her 15 minutes of fame might be up because there's a new activist in town who's even younger, Jack.
Tell me.
Ace Henderson. He's a 4-year-old non-binary heteronormative cisgender trans person. And boy, does he have a message for the military-industrial complex, Jack.
Okay.
Now, in a passionate speech delivered at her preschool last Thursday, Ace said that we ignore Eisenhower's famous warning at our peril, accused grown-ups of having shat on his future, and said she hopes we will all die. Now, the feisty 4-year-old railed on military spending, corruption, exporting democracy, and perpetual warfare, and stated that we all have blood on our hands for participating in the Anglo-centric capitalist patriarchy. He said that when she grows up, he hopes to, quote, disembowel the hegemon that is Western society, end quote. The uncoached, toilet-trained ace then took a mandated nap.
Oh. And those are her words.
I'm clearly unscripted.
Oh. It's, I feel like maybe that's the parents.
Jack.
Yes.
Do you like spelling bees?
Not particularly.
Why not?
It just seems like there's so many other ways to spend my time.
Well, you're a buzzkill, pun intended, Jack. Well, did you know there's a new effort underway to make spelling bees more accessible to everyone?
Oh, that's nice. Tell me about it.
Well, earlier this year, the Scripps National Spelling Bee ended in an 8-way tie. And people couldn't help but notice that of the 8 winners, 7 were kids of Indian and Southeast Asian ancestry, which suggested that they came from households that valued education and learning. Now, critics say that the immigrant families had an unfair advantage over traditional households that lacked oversight or structure. And in an effort to level the playing field, some are recommending that future spelling bees become more inclusive by focusing on words that most people know, like Netflix and OMG.
Oh, that makes sense. And we're calling OMG a word?
Sure. Jack, I got new news for you.
I love new news. That's the best kind.
Yeah. The Me Too movement,
I've heard,
has claimed a victory in Great Britain after setting its sights on an elite private school there, Jack. So Charles Lipscomb, the headmaster at the private Kensington School for Sexy Young Ladies with Silky Smooth Skin, announced that the prestigious institution would be changing its name after receiving a maelstrom of complaints from around the world. So Lipscomb, Jack, said that there was no choice but to acknowledge that societal norms had changed since the founding of the school in 1837, and that henceforth the school would be named the Kensington Girls' School. Lipscomb told reporters that he hoped the name change would put an end to the distracting controversy and allow the school to refocus on their nearly 200-year legacy of educating women with giant hooters.
So, Brian, I hate to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
But
you say you hate to, but you smile every time you say that.
Oh, that's because I'm thinking of something else.
Oh.
So I really hate putting you on the spot, but because I know you're a humble man. You don't like to brag. You're a very kind individual, but you don't like to brag. You don't like to toot your own horn.
Sure.
A lot of the most charitable people in America like to help people without necessarily getting a lot of publicity for it. They don't do it for the publicity. They do it just for the love of helping people.
Because it makes them feel good.
Yeah, helping people.
When I do good, I feel good.
Yeah.
When I do bad, I feel bad.
That's right. And so I know you're involved in a lot of charity work, which I just think is great.
Thank you.
And so you and your wife were out last weekend, and I went through your house and found your tax returns. Saw a number of write-offs for charitable organizations that you claim that you run. And I was just wondering if you could tell me about some of your the charities that you apparently are so heavily involved in.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Yeah. So would you just mind telling us about some of your charity work?
No, hit me.
So the first one on that looks like that gets the most play is it's called Brian's Kids. What does Brian's Kids do?
Brian's Kids?
Yeah.
It's a charity, obviously.
Sure.
Because it was I wrote it off as a charitable deduction.
Tell me about it.
Well, you've heard of Jerry's Kids.
Of course.
Well, Brian's Kids does the same thing as Jerry's Kids, just with more of a focus on Brian's kids, who are mine.
Oh, okay.
So I saw what Jerry was doing there.
Well, he did a lot of great work.
Yeah, he had a ton of kids. I didn't realize that. So he had thousands of kids. I limited myself. I was not as productive. Yeah. So I only had a couple, and I just, the charity was designed with them in mind.
Well, you understand that Jerry's kids are not his biological children. These are just children in need throughout the country, and he, throughout the world even, that he would just help out.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense, because it seemed, I kept thinking like, man, he's got a lot of kids of all types. Like he's been with a lot of people and had a lot of kids. And now what you're saying is they're actually not his kids.
They're
so that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So it's weird. Okay. In that sense, that maybe this charity that I established as a tremendous write-off was not based on, I guess, a thing that was real.
The number 2 charity on your list, a large number for this line item, Cars for Cats.
Yep. Well, I mean, cats, I know cats seem very aloof and disinterested, but they're excellent drivers.
Really?
Yeah. And it's, unlike humans, if they see you coming in the left-hand lane, they'll get over so you can pass them.
Oh, that is nice.
And that's a trait that cats have that I find very admirable.
Oh, that is.
I just, if they see like a mouse in the road or a chipmunk, you and I would panic, maybe swerve, hit the brakes. They just run over that thing because they hate those things.
Yeah. This, you got to explain this one to me. The Take-A-Wish Foundation?
The Take-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the idea behind the Take-A-Wish Foundation is, you know what Make-A-Wish is, obviously.
Of course.
So that's
dying,
terminally ill, like a last wish for them if they go to Disney World. What I felt was that, these kids are ill. They go to Disney World. They don't have a lifetime of memories.
Right.
The Take-A-Wish Foundation is able to kind of reach in and grab this wish from the child and apply it to a kid who's not terminally ill and is going to be able to tell the stories of going to Disney World, is going to be able to tell about meeting his favorite race car driver and all these things. So, it's a way to prolong the memory. Otherwise, these memories are going to go away.
They go quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it replaced with? So you take the wish from the dying child, the terminally ill child, but what do you replace it with?
It's a sock puppet that says, thank you.
Uh-huh.
If you put your hand in the puppet and say, thank you.
And you find that the terminally ill children are generally pleased with this exchange?
They don't appreciate it at the time, but I assume, at a later date, they will understand that it's for the better.
How much later of a date though?
Well, that's the thing. They better hurry up and figure it out that it's in their best interest.
I like it. There's an immediacy to all of that I think is, I find very exhilarating. I might want to donate to that.
Please do.
Yeah. What are some of the best wishes that you've taken so far?
There was a beautiful little girl named Carmen who wanted to meet the dancers backstage at Frozen, the musical.
Yeah.
She didn't, but Timmy did. I wouldn't say it was his lifelong dream, but he was very excited to do it.
So he was pleased that he got to do that for a day.
He was mildly pleased. He was not familiar with the movie Frozen.
Well, that's a shame. Well, hopefully he got into it later.
Did
he stay for the whole play?
No, he didn't.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, he left during the intermission. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's, but what's neat about that story is that we can call Timmy and he'd be alive to pick up the phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He could be like, yeah, did you have a good time? No, not really. Not really. Being honest.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the take. Are there any other moments from the Take-A-Wish Foundation that you'd like to share?
Yeah. There was a kid from Boston. His name was Jimmy Rivera. And he was obsessed with Mookie Betts. His make-a-wish was to meet Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
And spend, the day with Mookie Betts. We took that wish.
Yep.
And we gave it to Barbara Jacobstein. Said, Barbara, we are going to bring you to meet Mookie Betts.
And what did she say?
Who's that?
Okay.
And we said, Mookie Betts. And she said, is he a magician? What's going on here?
That was her first guess.
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
And we said, no, he's a baseball player. You're going to love him. She said, I don't care for baseball. But she met Mookie Betts that day.
Okay. Oh, good for her. It's a memory she won't love, but she'll always have.
It's a memory she definitely has.
And what happened with the child who wanted to meet Mookie Betts?
We gave him a picture of A-Rod.
Oh yeah. That's a New York Yankee. He would probably hate that.
I didn't anticipate the reaction we got.
What was the reaction?
He died.
I love this. So it's Brian's med van. So this is that medical van that you drive around and dispense medical care to those in need.
Yes.
So tell us about that. I mean, that is so noble. especially for someone without a medical degree.
Yeah, well, you need degrees for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But what I learned is euthanasia does not require a degree.
Okay.
You do not have to have any particular medical expertise to euthanize someone.
Mm-hmm. I guess that would be true. Well,
I have not had a single complaint about my work with Brian's med van.
Okay. So what's the last person you serviced in Brian's med van?
Yeah.
Tell me about his or her story. Because something doesn't feel right about this and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Well, I was driving Brian's med van and I saw a gentleman on the street, reached out his hand, he put his thumb up.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled over
and
I told him, hop in. Mm-hmm. Clearly someone who's looking to be euthanized.
Why, that seems like a jump, buddy. That seems like a big jump.
That's what he said.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you let him go.
No, I took a lot of persuading.
How did you persuade him?
I just started grilling him. I said, "You're here to be euthanized?" He said, "No, I just needed a ride uptown." And I said, "Because you want to be euthanized?" He said, "No, I need a ride uptown." And then I just started to grill him about his life, and he had a failed marriage. Most of his family wasn't talking to him. His career was done. And I pretty much convinced him that he didn't have a reason to go on. And then at the peak of that realization, I said, "Why don't you step in the back of Brian's med van?" And then I was able to finish the process and another customer.
And tell us a little bit about the process. I don't want to be too grim, but I think the story needs to be told.
Well, I mean, there's a variety of ways that you can end your suffering. Mm-hmm. I like to offer choices. Sometimes I give people what they call options paralysis. Mm-hmm. Before I give them actual paralysis.
Oh, that's...
So what I do is I present with them, would you want a pill? Would you like this syringe? Mm-hmm. Would you like to snort this? Would you like to
Not
drink
a bad way
this?
To go. Uh-huh.
And it's choices. It's all about choices. Life is all about choices.
So then let's say they choose to drink or snort something. Then what happened?
I offer it to them and they drink it or snort it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, then they'll sit there and there'll be like this waiting period.
Yep.
And they're looking at me, and they're saying, I don't feel anything. It doesn't feel right. I don't understand. And that's when I shoot them in the head.
Uh-huh. Okay. Is it feels murdery to me.
It did to me at first, but it really grows in you.
Does it really though?
No. Initially, the first handful, you're like, waking up night sweats, scared, worried. Am I going to get, yelled at?
Yelled at.
Am I going to get chastised? Mm-hmm. Maybe canceled?
Canceled.
Is somebody going to write a bad op-ed about me?
Uh-huh.
But then over time, you're like, no, I'm providing a service. These people are very unhappy and I am their angel.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think maybe it'd be better to give like low or no cost mammograms or just something more like that to help keep people alive?
Yeah, that requires machinery that I don't have that probably wouldn't fit into the back of Brian's med van. Uh-huh. It requires a medical expertise that I do not possess and don't really wish to possess.
Oh, okay.
Because to me, it's far easier to be an angel.
Right. Okay. How many people have you been an angel for?
Intentionally?
Okay. Yeah, let's start there.
You lose track after a while. Uh-huh. You know how when you first start dating, you keep track of every girl you're dating.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Sarah, Becky. Well, I did that at first and then.
Also Sarah and Becky.
And yeah, that was 47 and 38.
Oh, okay.
I recall. I'd say I'm up to 65.
Okay.
Happy customers.
Homicides. I'm going to go against my gut and say, thank you for your service.
Thank you. And you know what? If you need a ride anywhere,
Pass. Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid's brother, Dennis Quaid, is joining us today. Now, Dennis Quaid has been making news this week because he just got engaged to his girlfriend. Very exciting news.
Nice.
What's interesting about that to me is that she is about 40 years his junior.
Dream come true.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure.
Yeah. Would that be your dream?
Not really. I think the conversation would be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already have a problem, speaking to people 10 years my junior.
Right.
So I think 40 is just going to be weird.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think is a lot of that problem that your wife speaks a different language?
Yeah, I don't know what she's been saying.
Mm-hmm. So she speaks in Polish and you just are like,
I just nod.
Yeah.
I've nodded for years, 18 years of nodding.
Okay.
I don't know what I've agreed to. I don't know if it was a prenup. I don't know what's going on.
Does she seem happy?
No.
Oh, no.
Because it looks like an angry talk. Did Polish talk and angry speak?
Probably. Well, I guess so. In your case, I know they do. Well, anyway, so Dennis Quaid is here. So why don't we fire up the lines and talk to the famous actor Dennis Quaid? You ready?
I would like to talk to famous actor Dennis Quaid.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Dennis, are you there? Are you there?
Hey guys, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Come on, guys.
Happy birthday, dear Dennis Quaid. Happy birthday to you.
That's so much. Thank you so much for having me on. And congratulations. I imagine you're saying congratulations. Congratulations to you guys too. I hope here's to all of us having luck and love for the rest of our life.
And how did you guys meet this lady you're engaged to now?
I'm here to promote the movie Midway. Yeah. So I've been in Hawaii. We're filming in Hawaii now. We're doing all the press in Hawaii and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And so I met her there. She's a PhD. She's an astronomer. I was up on Mauna Kea. They get away from the lights, so they put the what you call them, telescopes.
Mm-hmm.
I found love in the stars.
Oh, that's really beautiful.
That's a cute story.
Thank you.
Oh, you sound really happy.
I feel like I was just born.
Wow.
Born at 65.
Well, that's
over the hill and loving it. If you want to do advice, we can have people call in. I get love advice from Randy Quaid's brother. So whatever you want to do. I'm just like sex positive now.
I had a question because as somebody, I feel like at my age, which I don't feel like is that old, but women look right through me. So what is it that you have that I don't have where these, they don't look right through you, they look right at you and then want you to marry them?
It's a great question.
Yeah, well, I got the big old, I have a jaw on me. I got, my veneers are holding up. So it's pretty good. She was born in 1993,
mm-hmm.
which so she remembers being 7, watching traffic. She remembers, she's a little young for any given Sunday. That's 99. But, and it's magical. I think what you want to, my sense is that you want to project as like their peer, and you shouldn't do that. You should be like, you should project, I have so much money and cultural power that I can make and break everyone, then I think that's a better first step. People think it's about emotional connection. It's not. It's really about saying like, here are the ways that we'll never connect. It's very aspirational. I'm an aspirational hang. That's what she said.
Well, because you're the type of guy who can get Footloose remade to a movie. Like no one wanted to see that film remade, but Dennis Quaid can make that happen. That gets greenlit if you make a phone call.
Oh yeah. Well, So you're talking about Midway? Midway, there's a great Robert Mitchum movie called Midway. They did the whole thing. And the families came to me and they said, don't redo it. Don't do it again. It'd be disrespectful. Plus the way we're doing is much more from like the Japanese perspective. And it's kind of surreal.
Oh,
we really take the American project to task. A lot of called cowards for not getting into the European front sooner. And it's tough. We really lay into, we sort of really show the other side.
That's a lot to unpack.
For that reason and so many others, a lot of
popcorn movie.
Were very, very mad.
But yeah, I bet.
I'm Randy Quaid's brother.
Yeah, that's something to hang your hat on.
Yeah, I had a question. So when you have this age difference of 39 years or so. So do you look at different things? How do you talk about certain events? So like September 11th, for example, where your fiance was 8 years old and you were presumably 50 something. So how do you guys look and discuss an event like September 11th? How does she see it? How do you see it?
Well, that's why, and this is why I flipped the Midway thing around, because I've learned the mistake of the American project. I've really, she's taught me also too, that, sort of about the great Satan. So like I came in, I was of an age when I was, like you say, in their 50s, people in their 50s, when they experienced 9/11, it was devastating for the country. It really injured the ego, the sense of kind of, being, having this piece of living inside the United States being kind of above reproach. But she was 8, so she saw it from the whole other perspective, and she was like, "Oh no, we had it coming," and all that stuff. And so that's why what I'm really doing is I'm going to try and remake all movies now to kind of show the other side. We're going to remake Home Alone, and just the parents will be immediately put in prison. I always wanted that to happen, or things like that. To really
just for
take American icons and be like, "You're small. We're taking it back. We're taking it away from you."
Huh. That's not how I expected this to go.
What is it like meeting the parents of your fiance?
They're just kids themselves. They're 20 years my junior. It's nice. I've sort of become like a grandfather, or great grandfather to a whole new family, except with, the relationship with one of the granddaughters. But it's nice. It's like almost like one of those. It's like a much older way of living, like in Italy or Scandinavia, where the oldest guy would, sit in a cafe and just sort of bark orders at people. So now I can take my in-laws. My in-laws already owe me money. I bought my in-laws like a house and a place, and I'm not gonna say where it is, but it's in Lyon. But anyway, and so so they owe me. It's nice. It's like I bought a whole family. But they basically have to do whatever I say.
But you bought them a house, but then, that was not a gift. Oh,
well, that would be kind of gross. I think then now we're talking about prostitution or something. I'm like, I'll date and marry. I mean, not date. I'll basically immediately marry someone at any age that I please. I live above the law and morality that way. I got the money, but I'm not gonna, it's a little, I still recognize the squick factor, like, ooh.
I have a question. So do you have previous marriages under your belt?
I have a couple, yeah.
Yeah, three here, yeah.
And do you have
getting good at it.
You have children from the previous marriages?
I do. I have kids. I have kids older than my wife. My son Jack is they're just about the same age. I see a lot of him and her. It's nice. I know a little bit about relating to 27-year-olds.
Would you consider having more children?
Oh yeah. Let the circle be unbroken, man. It's like, and I like it that, the numbers are sort of mixed up. It's like, if you have a mom who's like, in her 30s, dad's going on 70, you're just born. Then it's not less of this generational thing. Remember when I was a kid, people would be like, oh, the hippies and the squares in the 80s with the punks and this, and it's because the ages were too lined up. You mix those ages now, it's like, it's not that weird. If I marry somebody 40 years, my junior is like a day after me there. That's like, it raises fewer questions. I don't mind that. Age is just a number, That's what I took from G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Remember I played General Hawk, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra?
Yeah, no, of course we remember. We were talking about that before the show.
That was a big part of my proposal.
Oh, really? How? In what way? How so?
Well, it's just I had a big speech on, if you remember, G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Standing on the top of this big giant solar drill, side of an icy mountain, water all over the place, snakes and stuff shooting at me. I had a great kind of speech where I really tied up the whole movie, where it was like, we've been fighting so long, and Lady J is dead, and Storm Shadow betrayed us, and Dr. Mindbender, he did what he did. And, but we're still standing here. We may win, may lose, we're fighting anyway. And so, yeah, in Hawaii, that's what I did. So I said to her, we were up on the telescope. I had bought the telescope. I was not supposed to be up near there, even just being there without a hairnet. I think I ruined it or something, but, that's Quaid life for you. And I did the same thing. I was like, you know what? Snakes are shooting at us. And, quick kick and gung ho. They're not coming to save us. I'm not getting any younger. So, like, let's take what time I've got and spend it well. And she had seen the movie with her friends at like an eighth grade, like an eighth birthday party or something. And so it worked. What can I tell you? I live a charmed life.
That's was she happy with that proposal?
I mean, she said yes.
Okay. Well, that's great. How do your other wives, how are they taking this? I mean, most famously, of course, you were married to Meg Ryan. I mean, so how are they taking this?
They are livid. But that's the thing is like, I'm painting this painting called Dennis Quaid, and there's going to be some blues and there's going to be some red. And there's going to be, there's going to be some straight lines. There's going to be some squiggles. And so, yeah, I knew from the minute I saw, what's her name?
Your
fiance?
Your fiance?
Pardon me.
Sure.
Excuse me, Laura. That I was like, oh, this one's for Meg. So I got it. It was just in all the papers. It kind of hit the papers. I was like, all the pictures and stuff. I called Meg and she wouldn't even pick up, and that's okay. Like that's part of it for me. Some people getting happier, some people getting sadder. It's a big adventure. You know, it's for me anyway. I have a lot of money. For other people, it might be hard. I don't know.
Is there a quality that all of your current or your fiance and your past wives all share that seems to bind them all together?
That's a good question. Well, they all will put up with me for 5 to 10 years. And I say that of Laura because I'll probably die. Yeah, they have me in common. They love me. That's what this is. Welcome to America circa 2019. What do we have? Institutions are failing, social fabric breaking down, economic systems crumbling. But what do we have? We have Dennis Quaid. We have the Quaid brothers, Randy and Dennis. And are we perfect? No. But I think, the mistakes are where the beauty is. Hang on tight. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Wanted to ask, felt like we hadn't seen you in a little while, and then you popped up on the Esurance commercials. Tell us about your decision to accept that role.
Oh, thank you. Well, here's the thing. To me, the Esurance car insurance commercials, that was my godfather. I was like, yeah, there's something going on with him. He's weird behind the eyes. My sort of secret was this sort of very violent impulse that the Esurance guy has to everyone around him. He actually bets against, he's an insurance guy, so he hopes that, people are hurt in elaborate ways that the insurance company doesn't have to pay for. Sort of a jigsaw, almost like a Saw kind of character. But you don't really say that. And what you're saying out loud is the stuff about the coverage counselor. That's like 2 levels. I find it much more complex than actual acting and whatever. When I played Cobra Commander, that was, no big whoop.
So that's the Esurance guy's backstory, is that he's an agent of chaos and wants to see people hurt.
Sociopath. And it was based on the Esurance people. That's part of why I did it. I met a guy who worked at Esurance. I was just in Vegas. I don't even know. I just woke up in Vegas, passed out there too, and woke up on set of the movie later. But while I was in Vegas there, I met a guy who worked at Esurance, and I was like, oh, this guy's a shark. So I was like playing him almost.
Wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's, well, thank you for sharing that story.
Commercial guy. No sweat. That's why, Jared, the Subway guy, he went crazy. That's what happens with a lot of those commercial guys. You're 2 people, you're playing off your own image, but it's an acting thing. Mm-hmm. It tears a lot of people apart. I love those guys. What's his name? The Can You Hear Me Now guy? He switched sides.
That's right.
Right. Sprint to Verizon.
Yep.
Verizon to Sprint.
Yep.
He's an infidel. Listen, people take it very seriously. And I do too. I hope to never do anything longer than 30 seconds ever again. Also, it's usually just like one morning and you're out.
Yeah. That sounds especially when you have a 26-year-old wife to go home and take care of.
Time is precious. I don't know. I got limited time with her. I got a limited time anyway.
Yeah. Amen. That is the truth. The last thing, I'd be remiss in my role as a podcast reporter to not ask the thing that is on everyone's mind when they hear about a relationship such as this. And that is the delicate topic of intimacy. You know where I'm going with this. The 40-year age difference. How is that? How does that impact your intimacy, your intimate life?
Well, you're sort of pointing directly to the issue. It takes more and more. The situation has to get more and more elaborate to get anything done. And so that's how you get these extreme differences in age. She's getting her PhD in astronomy, but that's just basically so she can, these telescopes are all in out of the way places where you cook meth or you can make sort of synthetic drugs and stuff like that. There's a lot of that happening. I don't make a big deal of it. My publicist hates me talking about it, but I've broken free of gender. I don't recognize gender anymore. So with each of those things, it still lights up the old operation guy's nose. But once I'm there, like if we get it going and we're in a sensory deprivation tank, we got the drugs going, the whole thing, we're very, who knows who's there in there with us. I have a pretty good time. I can keep up a little bit.
Gosh.
I wish the same for you guys. I think it's a money thing. I think the only reason I can get away with that is because I'm recognizable. But I wish everybody, if you guys ever want to come, I have a compound.
Yes.
Yeah, come to the compound. You got to come up. It's in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Yes, only for the joke. And it's great. It's mostly underground. It's all geothermal heated. It's great. We got everything. We have her friends over. They trash the place. Great. Her family like works there kind of as like staff.
Migrant farmer type.
Yeah, like silent staff people.
Oh.
And we get it done. And at the end of the summer, we have a big cookout.
Well, that sounds wholesome. That sounds nice.
I mean, we try. You got to balance out the sex because it's wrong. It's the only thing that turns me on now is immorality, really taking something away from someone else directly. So you got to wash your hands of it. You do that underground in the bunker. You wash your hands. You come up to the picnic, and that picnic is positive. That's the rule. That's the rule at the old Quaid Ranch.
Oh,
yep. Well, gosh, Brian, do you have anything else?
I don't think I do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, boy, I'm glad. No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, hey, so I feel like the world's my bachelor party now. It's like everybody's kind of happy or bemused. You want to do a lot of interviews. And so to you, I say, I want to be like Pan or Dionysus. Yes, it's improbable what I did and gross in many ways, but just follow me in your own way. If you want to marry, I don't know, like how low you guys could shoot. If you want to somehow entice like somebody in the 40s or wherever, you name your price. Set your price.
That's what I think it would take. In my case, yeah, it would take a price, is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Well, if that's what it takes, whatever gets you through the night. Our time here is limited. Mine more than anybody, and I draw a line in the sand and I say, by God, I'm having fun.
Well, if the insurance guy and Randy Quaid's brother says it, amen, right?
I mean,
yes, sir.
Sounds like an authority to me.
Absolutely. Dennis Quaid, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dennis.
Anytime. Have me back. I insist on coming back. On your 100th episode, I'll come back and we'll reminisce.
That'll be great. Thank you so much for the time, Dennis. Good luck with Midway opening November 8th.
Thanks for doing my promo for me.
Hey,
go omnisexual. That was good.
Cheers. Well, Jack, it seems like another episode has come to a close.
You think it was a good one?
Yum.
Is there something you'd like people to do if they had a good time?
If they had a good time, Jack, I would love for them to spread the word, Jack. They could go to qmpodcast.com for one.
Mm-hmm.
They could sign up for the email newsletter for two.
That sounds like fun.
They could follow us on Facebook or Twitter or what's the other one?
Instagram?
Pinterest.
We're on Pinterest?
Nope.